Hi, this is Dr. Tiffany Jackson, naturopathic doctor at Natural Medicine Now University. Thank you for joining us for this webinar, Daily Detox Diet Guidelines. Now that you've learned how to follow the Clean 14 Detox diet and hopefully completed the challenge, it's important to have a plan of how to continue to eat clean and prevent disease. In this webinar, I will teach you how to choose the best foods that are less toxic to your body and avoid chemicals in food packaging and cookware. The daily detoxification diet recommendations I'm going to cover in this webinar is not a specific detox program or a cleanse. The diet guidelines are simple changes and recommendations you should begin to implement into your everyday routine to help your body stay healthy and keep your detoxification pathways functioning properly. So let's get started. Knowing what your food is packaged in is just as big a deal as knowing what is in it. The foils, the cans, the boxes, and the wrappers that cover your food all can contaminate your food with toxic chemicals. Plastic, for example, contains a hazardous mix of chemicals and additives known as phthalates and BPA, bisphenol A, which can disrupt the endocrine system by mimicking the female hormone estrogen. These chemicals do not magically stay inside the plastic. They leach into whatever food or beverage you put them in. For instance, if you microwave plastic containers or bottles, or put hot liquids into them, the BPA and phthalates leach into your food. There's also evidence that chemicals leach from plastic faster when the container is old and scratched, frequently put in the dishwasher, or washed with harsh detergents. Styrofoam is also hazardous to your body. It contains neurotoxins called styrene and benzene, which are widely accepted in the health community to be carcinogens. These toxins, like plastic, can leach into the food that is warm or contains fat. This means that it's critical that you do not microwave food in styrofoam or put any kind of hot food into styrofoam containers. It can be a nightmare trying to avoid buying foods from plastic containers and styrofoam, but to minimize the extent of contamination, try not to buy pre-wrapped foods and opt for foods stored in glass containers or made fresh at the deli. Ask restaurants to wrap any leftovers in foil, or if you are super organized, try to bring your own glass container. Next, as you have heard me say many times before, always read labels and avoid preservatives in food colorings. Fortunately, when chemicals are deliberately added to foods in the form of food colorings and preservatives and artificial flavors, the manufacturer is required to list them on the label. In general, you should avoid foods with the following additives: bromate, hydrogenated vegetable oils, food coloring, especially red number 40, and preservatives such as nitrate or sodium nitrate, and flavorings like MSG, which is monosodium glutamate, and all artificial sweeteners, particularly saccharin and aspartame. When you are shopping, be sure to read the labels and become an informed customer and avoid those preservatives and food colorings. As a general daily detox diet rule, if you cannot pronounce an ingredient on a label, don't buy it. Buy organic and locally grown fruits and vegetables. Organic foods are simple foods that are grown without most of the synthetic chemicals used in conventional farming, and they have a minimal level, if any, of synthetic pesticides, antibiotics, growth hormones, and fertilizers. Buying organic, in-season produce from your local farmer's market is the best to ensure that you can get pesticide and chemical-free fruits and vegetables. To identify fruit and vegetables grown organically, look for the little sticker, and the number should be 5 digits and start with a 9. For example, 94223. I know you are probably thinking you cannot afford organic produce all the time, but I promise you can. By shopping at your local farmer market or even joining a community supportive agriculture group, you can actually save money and get the benefits of eating local organic fruits and vegetables. I truly recommend participating in a CSA, which is a community-supported agriculture program, because it makes eating seasonally and locally and organically simple and easy. I want to go over exactly what a CSA is so you fully understand the benefits of joining a community. So CSA stands for Community Supported or Sponsored Agriculture. It is a group of people who are supporting a local farm in turn for sharing the risks and benefits of growing fruits and vegetables each season. Essentially, when you join a CSA, you are buying a share of a local farm, and in return, you're going to receive a box of the farm's produce on a regular basis. There's a lot of variation how each CSA works. Some of them have weekly shares, some have bi-weekly shares, and others offer monthly shares. Most CSAs have fresh fruits and vegetables, and others offer meats, dairy, eggs, even flowers. You usually get to pick and choose which shares you want to participate in. Here are some benefits of joining a CSA. You are helping a local farmer. By participating in a CSA, you are giving the farmer capital ahead of the season to buy his seeds, plant his crops, and focus on growing healthy, nutrient-dense food. You get to eat in season. We so easily forget that produce has a season. We go to our grocery store and we buy tomatoes and asparagus and peaches 12 months out of the year. Food tastes better when it's in season, and there are many theories that we should be eating more seasonally to prevent disease. You also will save money. When you are on a detox diet or eating real food, the cost can be a huge issue. By joining a CSA, you can save a ton. I figure my vegetable share costs about $30 a week, and I get 2 large grocery bags of produce. I would have spent significantly more on the same produce at my local grocery store or even at my farmer's market. Another big benefit is you get to know your farmer and where your food comes from. This can be great for the whole family. We're so used to going to the grocery store and buying produce without a second thought, but it's really great to get to know the people who grow your food and understand exactly where it comes from. My favorite benefit of joining a CSA is getting new exposure to different fruits and vegetables. This is many people's hang up about a CSA. You usually get a box of vegetables and you can't choose exactly what you want. But I look at this as a huge benefit. You are introduced to almost any vegetable that can grow in your local area through your CSA. I highly recommend the book From Zucchini to Asparagus if you're going to join a CSA. You can look up each vegetable and get ideas on how to prepare it, from simple procedures like eating it raw or steaming it, or more in-depth recipes. Overall, a CSA is a great way to eat in season and get more exposure to local fruits and vegetables. Now let's talk about cleaning your fruits and vegetables. You may think that if you are eating organic and local fruits and vegetables, then they don't need to be cleaned and inspected like conventional grown produce since they're not covered in pesticides. However, you should always carefully clean and inspect your fruits and vegetables because there's a good chance other things besides pesticides and chemicals are lurking on their surface. Although organic vegetables and fruits aren't grown without pesticides and chemicals, they can be cultivated with natural soil enhancers and fertilizers such as manure, bone meal, and worm castings. Plus, before you buy fruits and vegetables in stores, they could have been handled by farming staff, farming equipment, market employees, and other shoppers. Hopefully the equipment and hands were clean, but you just never know. So you should always clean all of your fruits and vegetables thoroughly before eating or cooking. Fortunately, it's pretty easy to remove these germs and pesticides and bacteria by using inexpensive ingredients right in your kitchen cupboard. All you need to do is concoct a mixture of water, vinegar, baking soda, and lemon juice, and then put it in a spray bottle and spray and rinse and soak. As you can see on the slide, here is the recipe for cleaning your fruits and vegetables. One important thing to note is it's also important to wash all fruits and vegetables that have peels. Even if you don't plan on eating the peel, the knife can transfer the pesticides and germs and bacteria that are located on the outside of the fruits and vegetables into the edible part you are going to eat. One important daily detox diet guideline is to avoid microwaves. Microwaves are convenient, but convenience doesn't always make something the best option. Microwaves destroy nutrients and they release harmful radiation. Dr. Hans Hertel is a Swiss food scientist, and he found that microwave cooking alters food nutrients enough that can cause health-damaging changes in a person's blood. There are a lot of alternative cooking methods, including a conventional oven, toaster oven, and pan heating. The simple fact is, you just need to spend about 5 or 6 minutes and be patient while something slowly heats up in the toaster oven or on the pan instead of radiating your food and being exposed to the toxic effects. One thing to note, if you are pan heating your leftovers from lunch or dinner, just make sure you are not using toxic pans. I know, you're probably thinking, not only do I have to read labels, avoid processed ingredients, I have to wash my food, but now I have to be concerned about what I cook my food in. Well, yes, sorry to break the bad news, but after all, preparation is everything. And let me tell you, I know your great-grandmother did not use Teflon or aluminum pans. So now let's talk about how these modern non-stick pans can be toxic for your health. Aluminum is a highly toxic metal and is linked to Alzheimer's and dementia, among other conditions. Many people use aluminum pans because aluminum conducts heat quickly, which is often why it's used in the cookware. The problem is aluminum leaches very easily, especially when it's heated or is exposed to acidic foods. I recommend avoiding cheap cookware made of aluminum. Non-stick Teflon is one of the most common types of cookware, but Teflon and other non-stick surfaces are very toxic as they release toxic fumes into the air when overheated. Another concern is that Teflon scratches easily if you're not careful, so flecks of the non-stick Teflon material can mix into your food unnoticed. Plus, your food is exposed to the metal underneath the Teflon, which was most likely aluminum, so the non-stick cookware is definitely a no-no. Most people think stainless steel is the next best choice, but contrary to belief, stainless steel may not be an inert metal either. All stainless steel has alloys containing nickel, chromium, molybdenum, carbon, and other metals. I recommend Extrema ceramic cookware. It is made of a lightweight ceramic 100% inorganic material. You can't scratch the cooking surface, it is heavy metal free, and it does not have any unsafe nonstick coatings. Visit our website, naturalmedicinenow.com, to find more information on cooking with Extrema ceramic cookware. Next, avoid contaminated seafood. Fish and seafood can be heavily polluted with heavy metals and toxins such as organochlorines because some parts of the sea are heavily polluted. Environmental pollution levels tend to be highest in animal fat, particularly if the animal or fish is predator, such as tuna or salmon. Because the organochlorines are highly fat-soluble chemicals, they are extremely persistent and they accumulate up in the food chain. So if, for example, a salmon eats a smaller fish that carries a load of toxins, these toxins will be added to those already carried by the salmon. You need to eat seafood to get omega-3s and its other health benefits, but with minimal impact on your health. So the big question is, what fish should you eat? So here is a seafood guideline. Think small. Eat smaller species of fish, such as sardines, anchovies, salmon, Atlantic mackerel, herring, and sole. Fish that are considered a little safer include trout, catfish, flounder, and haddock. Avoid freshwater fish from lakes and rivers, particularly the Great Lakes and other polluted industrial areas. Farmed trout and catfish are okay, as long as you know the farm does not add antibiotics and hormones. Choose fish that come from cleaner, remote bodies of water, such as the Pacific Ocean, Alaska, and remote islands. Avoid Atlantic fish, as the Atlantic Ocean tends to be more toxic. Avoid big predatory fish like swordfish, tuna, mackerel, shark, and grouper, which tend to accumulate more mercury. Seafood and shellfish are much more contaminated than most fish because they live in coastal waters where there's more pollution from runoff. Clams are the least contaminated. Only eat oysters, shrimp, lobster, and other shellfish occasionally. I like to recommend once or twice a month. Fish species that grow quickly, like mahi-mahi, tilapia, barramundi, are a better choice than slow-growing fish species like orange roughy, grouper, Chilean sea bass that can take 15 to 30 years to reach maturity, all while gobbling up a bunch of toxins. And last, avoid all seafood from China, whose oceans and waterways are extremely polluted. If you shop at big box stores or membership warehouses, most of their seafood comes from China unless otherwise labeled. Overall, you get what you pay for. Avoid genetically modified foods. So what exactly is a genetically modified organism? Basically, scientists are chemically engineering different food species so that they share the same genetic material. It's a big chemical experiment. For example, scientists are breeding corn with a pesticide that can kill bugs. And they are taking a gene from a fish that lives in cold water and they put it in a tomato so the tomato can survive in cold weather. All these attentions may sound good, but the effects of these foods in our body are extremely controversial. I believe avoiding genetically modified foods should be at the top of everyone's list, which is why it is recommended here in the daily detox guidelines. There are currently 8 genetically modified food groups on the market: soy, sugar from sugar beets, corn, Hawaiian papaya, cottonseed used in vegetable cooking oils, some varieties of zucchini, canola, and crookneck squash. These genetically modified organisms are everywhere. Even when you make your best effort to eat organically, a GMO will slip here or there. Avoid the top 8 genetically modified foods by purchasing organic. Next, if you're eating meat, you must choose clean meat sources. So did you know that countries in Europe banned hormone-treated American meats back in 1989? As a result, no conventionally raised United States meat can be sold in Europe. So what do these Europeans know about hormone-treated meat that we don't? Conventional raised meats, poultry, and dairy are full of cancer-causing hormones and immune-suppressing antibiotics. Years ago, that would not be a big concern, but today we know better. The commercial food industry places profits over people. The average piece of beef at the grocery store has millions of molecules of unregulated hormones in it. Every time you eat animal protein, you're exposing yourself to whatever that animal ingested during its lifetime, and that could include toxins and immune-suppressing antibiotics. Meat does contain essential nutrients and valuable proteins, essential fatty acids, iron, and amino acids. So how can you continue to enjoy meat and reap the health benefits without the dangerous additives? I recommend purchasing organic meats as the best source of healthy animal protein. So what does purchasing organic meats mean? For one, the farmers must have fed the livestock 100% organically grown feed. Number 2, the animals have not been given any hormones or antibiotics. Even if the animal is sick, they must be treated with an appropriate medicine. But if an animal has been treated with any other medication, it cannot be labeled or sold organic. Number 3, it has outside access. Organic animals must have access to the pastures if they graze. They must also have access to shade, shelter, fresh air, direct sunlight, and have room to exercise. Number 4, organic animal products must be separated from non-organic products. They cannot come into contact with any prohibited chemicals or substances. And lastly, Most organic meat is grass-fed, which means they did not eat any grains. So generally, they have higher levels of essential fatty acids and lean protein in the meat. Drink clean filtered water. As you've heard me say many times before, it is vitally important to drink water in sufficient quantities to help wash out toxins from your body. I always suggest drinking half of your body weight of ounces in water. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you should be drinking 100 ounces of water a day. To put that in perspective, a gallon of water is 128 ounces. So if you are around 200 pounds, you should be drinking almost 1 gallon of water a day. What I want you to really understand is tap water contains many chemicals that enter the body through the mouth and can be absorbed through the skin. Have a daily vegetable juice or green smoothie. Juices are one of the best ways to detox from heavy metals and other chemicals with no harmful side effects or complications. There are hundreds of scientific studies that have been published on the health benefits of fresh raw vegetable juices. Fresh vegetable juices are easy to absorb into the bloodstream. It is the ultimate fast food. It can recharge you and rejuvenate your body quickly. The digestive system virtually has to do no work in digesting the juices, and it gets absorbed within 15 to 20 minutes, providing your body with a concentrated amount of nutrients. So you're probably wondering, well, can't I just go to the store and buy some pre-made juice? Absolutely not. Juices in stores have been processed and pasteurized, destroying all the enzymes, most of the vitamins, and phytonutrients. They are simply a source of sugar. In fresh juice, the natural sugars are balanced with enzymes, minerals, and other nutrients, which turn them into energy for your body. I like to recommend for people to try to have one green vegetable juice or a green smoothie every day. Watch my webinars on how to make a green smoothie if you're interested. The point is, by adding 1 to 2 cups of fresh green vegetables daily into your diet is the pathway to optimal health. Green juices from leafy vegetables such as spinach, lettuce, parsley, dill, carrots, and beets with some tomato and lemon are a great source of magnesium and iron and good chelators of heavy metals. A juice or smoothie with cabbage, apple, and celery will stimulate digestive enzymes and are also a good kidney cleanser. There are many combinations, so play around and see what you like. My favorite is kale, celery, cucumber, parsley, lemon, and green apple. So take it easy on the fruit juices. While they do have vitamins, they're very concentrated in forms of sugar. And try to stick with fresh vegetable juice or a green smoothie every day. So as a daily detox guideline, add a fresh vegetable juice or green smoothie to your daily diet. Add cultured, fermented foods to your daily diet. Fermented foods, also known as cultured foods, are rich in probiotics that build immunity, improve digestion, and keep you healthy. Fermentation also decreases the sugar content in foods. Cultured or fermented foods are considered to be living food. So when we consume these foods, your body is flooded with good bacteria. And then there is a die-off of any pathogenic organisms in the body. These organisms could be candida, yeast, viruses, or bad infections. I recommend eating cultured vegetables, which are some of the best chelators and detox agents available, and they can help rid your body of a wide variety of toxins, including heavy metals. So add cultured foods into your diet, such as yogurt, sauerkraut, and kimchi, to help with good digestion as they replenish the good bacteria that will help keep your detox elimination pathways moving effectively. So now let's review the daily detox diet guideline for cooking with oils. Trying to find the healthiest cooking oil can be a daunting task. On one hand, you want to cook with an oil that has a high smoking point, but you also need to use an oil that has a healthy balance of omega-3 to omega-6 fatty acids, and even better, the oil You want it to be loaded with antioxidants and vitamins. Knowing the smoking point of an oil is important because heating the oil to the point where the oil begins to smoke produces toxic fumes and harmful free radicals. The bottom line is that when possible, buy organic and use organic, unrefined, cold processed oils. I recommend extra virgin olive oil in salads or to add to cooked foods, but not for high temperature cooking. Unrefined walnut oil is also good, but again, only for low temperature use. You can use virgin coconut oil for most mid-temperature cooking. However, coconut oil has a smoke point of about 350 degrees, which means it is not suitable for high temperature cooking. Other options for mid-temperature cooking include butter and virgin olive oil. I recommend using avocado oil for high temperature cooking. Avocado oil has a very high smoke point by comparison to the other oils. It will not burn or smoke until it reaches 520 degrees Fahrenheit, which is ideal for searing meats and frying in a wok. Another good cooking oil is rice bran oil, which has a 495 degrees Fahrenheit smoking point. But again, most importantly, I do recommend using organic cold press oils. In conclusion, I completely understand that it is going to be difficult to follow these daily detox diet guidelines 100% of the time. For this reason, I would like for you to follow the 80-20 diet rule. This allows you to indulge once in a while still helping you to better understand moderation and balance. I also understand that these daily detox diet guidelines require more attention and will be an ongoing process as it takes time to change your shopping habits and lifestyle accordingly. So be realistic about what you can achieve here. While it's very hard to eat and drink healthy all the time, the greater the proportion of beneficial foods in your diet, like organic local fruits and vegetables, the better. In most cases, the primary way in which chemicals enter your body is through your food, so please avoid dangerous toxins by following some of these detox diet guidelines. So here are your action plans. Number 1, eliminate plastic and styrofoam containers from your home. Stop at the dollar store or Bed Bath & Beyond and purchase some glass containers and start using them instead of plastic and styrofoam. Number 2, try a 1-month no microwave challenge. Try not radiating your food for a month and see if you notice a difference in how you feel, especially your energy. Number 3, join a CSA or begin shopping at your local farmer's market to ensure you get produce in season. Thank you for joining this webinar. I hope you have a better understanding of how to eliminate toxins in your diet. With a little effort focused on where you choose to purchase your food, what containers and packaging you avoid, and what cookware you use, you can make smart choices that assist your body in optimal detoxification to achieve a healthier life. So take action and prevent disease. This is Dr. Tiffany Jackson at Natural Medicine Now University wishing you a happy and healthy day.